What's up, guys? Synthesis here, and welcome to episode 7 of Questlog, the series in which I pretty much talk about anything I feel like talking about, honestly. So, this episode's topic is going to be about E3, more specifically about Nintendo. It is the third in the series of the E3 arc, I guess you could call it. The E3 arc where I talk about the big three: Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. I did an episode on Sony, I did an episode on Microsoft, so now it's Nintendo's turn. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. So, Nintendo is a brand that's near and dear to my heart, just the same way that Sony is, because I have a long history with them. And if you know me, you will know that I love unique games. And Nintendo is just one of the more unique individuals out there. They're really expressive. Their franchises just, they're unique. You look at Mario, Zelda, Metroid, you look at Super Smash Brothers, you look at Mario Kart. Well, a lot of it is Mario, honestly. But looking at newer titles like Splatoon, looking at stuff like Fire Emblem, they have a range. And they have a lot of first party games that they produce, and I don't think that they can rely on those forever. Because at the end of the day, you want to bring in more publishers. You want to have a lot of third party support, which is something that has been lacking within the last couple of generations because of, obvious issues with control schemes and the actual power of the unit and all of that. It seems kind of hard to develop for. Now, this console, the Switch in particular, is the first one that in a long time that I've been really, really excited for. I remember being really excited for the GameCube. I remember initially being very excited for the Wii, but I was disappointed with it overall in the long run. But the Nintendo Switch seems very, very promising. Why? Well, because you can take a high definition game with you anywhere you go. Like, regardless of the battery life, like that's manageable. Obviously, you're not gonna be gaming 5 hours straight on the go unless you're on a plane, in which you might as well just plug in your unit or get a separate battery pack. But like I said, it's different. For me, mobile gaming and handheld gaming is something that you do in short bursts. So, for example, I love my PS Vita, and with the PS Vita, I the only times that I would play more than 2 hours would be when I was at home and I would just sit down or lay on the bed and just play. And if you're gonna do that with the Switch, you might as well plug it into the TV, or you could just keep it around near an outlet and just play there. So, not a big issue. But what I want to see this E3, okay, hardware is super exciting. You got promises of games in the future. I want to actually see the games. I want to see what else you have to offer. I want them to make more announcements. I think they did very well announcing all sorts of games. One of them that I'm really looking forward to is the Shin Megami Tensei. I'm looking forward to the Dragon Quests that I hope make it over here to the States. I'm really looking forward to any new Fire Emblem that they come out with. Like, so you can tell, me being an RPG gamer, you have quite a few RPGs in there. I haven't, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get my hands on a Switch yet. I tried very hard to find one. Like, at first I wasn't too excited for it, considering like the announcements and everything, and I didn't really see any games. But once I started seeing the initial impressions of Zelda and whatnot, I got really excited and I tried to find it, and unfortunately I couldn't. And I'm not going to spend $600 on a Nintendo Switch, let's be honest here. I would rather wait for it to get back in stock. And yeah, the money that I was going to spend on the Switch, I spent on building a PC, so you could say that I ended up being better off with my purchase. But it's all in the past now. Looking towards the future, I want to get a Nintendo Switch. I want to play Zelda, I want to play Mario Odyssey, and I want to play, any other little game that comes here and there. So, what do I want from the E3? I want ports. Honestly, I want ports. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want ports because there's a lot of Wii U games that I skipped out on because I just didn't want to get a Wii U. Something like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I think was a really great game. I played it using my friend's Wii U, and I didn't get to beat it. but I would love to see a Nintendo port. It doesn't have to be like a physical copy, even though I like to collect games. As long as it's digital, I just want to have it. I just want to have it with me. I think a lot of Wii U games that unfortunately weren't successful because it was released on an unsuccessful platform can have a second life here on the Switch. So that'll be like Nintendo's way of apologizing for the Wii U and how much of a disaster it was. And we have already seen Mario Kart 8, and we are looking forward to, well, me. I'm looking forward to seeing potentially Smash Brothers, because I would like to see some of the DLC characters that they had in there make it back. Like, I still want Cloud, Lady Palutena, and all of them. Big Kid Icarus fan. All of those things I want to see on the Switch. Um, Bayonetta, I think, deserves a second chance to live on and not have such a. The thing about Bayonetta is that it got released in the wrong console. Like, it was paid for by Nintendo, I get that, but it was just released on the wrong console. It wasn't gonna sell spectacularly. Like, it's a great game. I played through it, and I believe they gave you the original Bayonetta as well. Like I said, at a friend's house, because I just refused to get the Wii U. Why would I get the Wii U? The same way I refused to get the Xbox. Why would I get the Xbox One when I have a PlayStation 4 and now I have a PC, and any major title of consequence didn't show, either showed up as well on the PlayStation 4 or didn't show up at all on the Xbox One or the Nintendo. So I digress. But that's what I would like to see at the E3 conference. I don't think it's going to be a conference. I think it's going to be something like a Treehouse event that they had. A Nintendo Direct, I think, would work really well, because you don't have the interruptions or the awkwardness of an actual live conference, which at this point, I don't think they're even capable of topping something like Sony or Microsoft, who I believe are going to go pretty in depth and balls to the wall with their individual conferences. But Nintendo can pull this back. Nintendo can make a huge success out of the Nintendo Switch. I think the actual making of the Switch and the concept of the Switch is something that any of us can agree is pretty exciting. I mean, just the idea that I imagine that I could take my PlayStation 4 on the go, like just have it on my TV, and then if I get a call or I have to go to a meeting or something, I can just go, hey, let me take my thing. Here we have it. I'm going to go call my Uber and just play in the back and do whatever. So that's something very, very, very promising. And that's something that I think they should take advantage of. But like with all consoles, games sell the consoles. If you release hardware without software, the hardware is useless, so the console is going to be useless. So I want to see release dates. I want to see developments of some of the announcements that they made beforehand, like Project Octopath Traveler is a game that I would like to see, more of. I would like to see more on the Dragon Quests, and please give us a release date on Super Mario Odyssey if it comes out this year. Because, knowing them, usually they're pretty spot on with their release dates and there's usually no delays. But come on, guys. We need to be reassured that games are coming. Because if you let the excitement die down, it's going to be hard to gain it back up. And just look at Microsoft's example. Excitement killed, and they've been paying for it ever since. So let's not make that mistake again. I do think the Nintendo Switch, like I said, it needs to be successful. The industry needs a successful Nintendo, because they are what drive the industry. They're the innovators and they're the creative people that work on different things. They're just different. They have their own style. They move to their own rhythm. And I think we can all appreciate that as gamers. So, and strong Nintendo is needed. So, in conclusion, that's what I would like to see at the E3 conference. Games, 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 and more games. The same thing you did on your Nindies presentation, please give us more of that. Show us games that are coming to the Switch. Make us excited. I'm already as excited as it is just because of Zelda and just because of Mario. and the promises of maybe a Dragon Quest and a Shin Megami Tensei every now and then, and your offbeat like Square Enix RPG. But we need games, because most of us, it's a big commitment to spend $300 and not have anything to play on it. That seems like a waste of money. And honestly, gaming in general is an expensive hobby. So if they're gonna buy it, they might as well use it. And in order to use it, you need games. So games, 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 games. I'm tired of repeating it, but that's how it is. Games, Nintendo. We need games. Give us games. That's all we ask. That's all we're asking for. So that concludes my E3 hopes and dreams arc per se. If you have anything more to say, please leave a comment down below. Let me see what you think, what your hopes and your predictions are for each of the individual conferences. And I'm not gonna make a Ubisoft or an EA because it's redundant at this point. We might as well get the information offhand and all of that. In my opinion, the only things that really matter are Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, because those are the big dogs and a lot of the big games get announced there. So, I would like to hear your opinions on that, and hopefully we can have a conversation on anything E3 related. I'm going to try to keep you guys updated as much as I can, as much as I physically can, because, I am busy during the day, so I might not make a video on here or there. I did hear about the announcement for the Project Scorpio speculations, like not speculations, they leaked specs of the actual console. I wasn't able to make a video on that. I was too late. I got preoccupied with something else. So sorry about that. I'm going to try to be more consistent with that in the future going forward. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, press the thumbs up button down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to support me on Patreon, the link is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.